everyone, it's Elizabeth from Alpus Astrology at alpusastrology.com. Thanks for joining me today. So today I'm going to give you my interpretation of April 2023's astrology. But as always, you have free will to choose what you want to do during this month. All right, so April 2023 astrology. Well, the big news is that the eclipse season starts this month. And wow, is it a big eclipse? It's a total eclipse. And it's a new moon. It's at 29 degrees of Aries and it's 50 minutes. So we're almost at 10 more minutes and it would be in Taurus. So this is our second lunation, our second new moon that is officially in Aries. So this is very unusual. So certainly for Aries and for Libra, this is an important time for you, in particular Aries. A time of definite new beginnings. So there may be for some Aries another start this month in April for you and whatever new things that you need to do. So when we look at Aries, we're really talking about being independent and blazing our own individual path. So the first lunation we have is a full moon. And that full moon is in Libra, the opposite sign to Aries, on the 5th of April. At 9:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And it's at 16 degrees of Libra and 7 minutes. We have the Sun conjunct Chiron. And in Aries, because of course the moon itself is going to be in the opposite sign of Libra. And that Sun and Chiron have a wide conjunction with Jupiter, which is also in Aries. And then, of course, the moon opposes that. The moon opposes the sun at every full moon. But because the moon is with Chiron, there's an opposition there with Chiron too. Now, the other thing we have is Mercury will be conjunct the North Nodes of the moon. And nicely, Venus steps in again and sextiles Neptune. The North Nodes of the moon, in turn, and with that Mercury, will be squaring Pluto. Now, remember that Pluto is right now 0 degrees Aquarius and some minutes. And so there's a few things going on here for sure. At all full moons, there's a culmination of some sort. There could be endings, that type of thing. But in some cases, it can be a good ending. Now, when we look at Libra, Libra is about relationships. It's also about the law or laws. So just generally speaking, these two areas could be up for many people at this time. When we look at the nodes involvement here, I really felt that, especially that North Nodes with Mercury squaring Pluto, I felt that there was, I actually heard a gong go off in my head, almost like, Big Ben, when Big Ben resounds and everybody can hear it. It's that type of thing, that we are going to have this resounding message about our destiny, especially as it relates to shifting power, right? Because Pluto is all about power. There could be some big revelations here as well. Not that that's unusual these days. But I like the real thing I like about this full moon is that the ruler of the full moon in Libra is Venus. And Venus is sextile Neptune. So to me, there's a sweet spot here as well. A sweet spot with regards to a couple of things. One, making our dreams potentially come true, being given opportunities for that. For others, having an opportunity to express love with a soulmate type of person. That could be up as well. But when we have the Sun conjuncting Chiron, I would say that, wounding of some sort could be brought up where you're wounded, and especially as it ties in with potentially relationships. There may be some breakups at this time. A full moon in Libra can indicate literal ending of a relationship. That could be up. But, for others, it could be that you're leaving something that isn't working for you. A relationship that's not working. And maybe even others are waiting to start a relationship. And this is the ending of your singledom. more likely it's going to be with the breakup part of it, but hey, let's include everything in this. So when we go on now to the 9th and 10th of April, we have the Sun in Aries, conjunct Jupiter. So for me, this is a very auspicious day. Anytime you've got Jupiter conjunct the Sun, and especially since it's in Aries, this is an auspicious day for good luck and movement forward on our independent path. And the picture I got in my mind was in the tarot, or the tarot cards, it's the Fool. If you can picture that, that's what I really saw, this Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries. It's a whole new start with lots of luck, lots of expansion, and lots of benefits. So I guess for those folks that need some good luck and movement forward, especially independent movement forward, those 2 days would probably be quite good for you, the 9th and 10th of April. All right, so our next lunation, I've talked a little bit about at the beginning of this video, of course, is the total new moon eclipse in Aries on the 19th of April at 9:12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And as I mentioned earlier, it's at 29 degrees of Aries, 50 minutes. There's 60 minutes in every degree, and so you're only 10 minutes off this potentially being in Taurus instead, but it's not. So Aries, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a second new start. So for those folks that maybe didn't have something start at the first new moon in March, this could just change the whole game. And certainly, just generally speaking, for people that want to have a new start, that want to be independent, that want to express themselves, and they've not had an opportunity to do this, maybe never had an opportunity to do this, this second lunation with this total eclipse could bring something in for you. 29 degrees is a critical degree, and it talks about kind of wrapping things up in whatever sign it's in. But hey, this is a new moon, so how could that be? Well, what it says to me is that for those folks that really have this situated somewhere in their own natal charts, it says by letting go of something, you are able to set yourself free on a new independent path. And that's a big message I got with this whole total eclipse, for sure. The other thing I got is it's only when we enter a relationship do we discover ourselves. I thought that just resonated so well with this total eclipse. Even though it's in Aries, we have it aspected by the opposite sign, which is Libra, of course. So there may be some Librans that have something to do with a partner at this time, or partnership. I'll cover all the signs in the ascendants towards the end of this introduction. What else did I get from that? I guess I got also it's love, right, which is Venus and rules Libra, versus liberty, especially for this whole month when we bring both the full moon and the new moon in. So this whole month, again, is about relationships of some sort, but it's also about the relationship we have with ourselves. And especially this total eclipse that I just talked about, I really felt there was some kind of important message for some individuals that it's okay to blaze your own path. It's okay to be an individual. It's okay to sometimes flaunt the fact that you're an individual. I think as long as you take into consideration other people and respect them, you should be proud of yourself and be proud of going on your own path and not following others like a sheep. Okay, when we look at May coming up, we have another eclipse, but this time it's a full moon eclipse. It's a full moon eclipse in Scorpio, and it's at 14 Scorpio on the 5th of May. So you can think ahead, especially for those folks that have something around, say, 14 degrees of Scorpio, or the opposite sign where the sun will be 4 degrees Taurus. We also have a new moon in Taurus. This is not an eclipse, but it's a new moon at 28 degrees of Taurus on the 19th of May. So those are some things that'll be coming up in May for you. A little preview for some folks. Now I'm going to go on to the individual signs. So Virgo. Virgo, the full moon in Libra is going to be in your second house. And generally speaking, the second house is the income or the money that you earn through the job that you do. And so it says here that there's going to be some ending for some reason. Now, I saw this as some Virgos who've maybe been, burning the candle at both ends and doing maybe 3 or 4 jobs. This is going to be for some Virgos saying, I'm not doing those 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs anymore. I have to put balance in my life. Libra's all about balance. For others, it may be that you bring in some diplomacy. That has to come into play here with regards to the income that you make. And maybe for others, it's not fair that the income that you're earning is not enough. And you put your foot down. You say, this has got to stop. And it shines a big light on that. And you say something to whoever you're getting your money from and say, I have to have an increase in my income in order for me to actually do my job properly and to live. And I think a lot of folks are in that situation right now. For others, this could be a value system. And the value system could just be lit up where maybe there's some Virgos are not valuing themselves. And again, that might be tied into that whole income that I just spoke about, where you say, I'm worth more than this. And I want to get more money here, and I'm going to ask for it. And that's what you do at this full moon. But always do things diplomatically when you were talking about Libra. Be fair and try to be harmonious. Now, when we look at that total new moon eclipse for you, Virgo, it's in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house, kind of like the 12th house, is a hidden house. It speaks to our psychological selves. But it also speaks to relationships on a deeper level, on a sexual level. So there's going to be some Virgos where they take their relationship to the next step and really put some depth, feel some depth in their relationships. That's a big one. For others, it could be shared resources where there's some new starts with regards to sharing resources. For others, it could just be that you decide to do some more investments. That the new start is you saying, you know what, I've been always asking people their opinion about what to invest. I am going to actually decide individually to do my own investing. And you decide to do your own investigating with regards to what you want to invest your money in at this time. And for still others, this could be a whole new start with regards to you feeling independent psychologically, because the 8th house is also the psychological house, right? It's what's going on in our minds. And so for some reason, maybe something at that full moon happened where maybe as a result of you saying, I'm worth more and I want more money, and you get it, that eighth house has you psychologically feeling, I've done it. I can be independent. I can ask for what I want, and I can get it. Now, you're still hosting, you're not hosting, but you have in opposition around 24 degrees of Pisces, we still have Neptune. So there still could be, and that's, of course, your opposite house is your 7th house. So there still could be, for some Virgos, some confusion still existing around a partnership of some sort, business and or marriage partnership. But this can also bring in a highly spiritual person, if that hasn't come in for you yet, that resonates with you at a very high level, right? Neptune ruling Pisces really speaks to high-level love, like soulmate love. And so this could be a spiritual person for those Virgos that haven't had somebody come in. Maybe it's all been confusion. Maybe out of the ethers and out of that fog, you may have something come in for you that is highly spiritual in terms of a partner. So try to think of that on the positive side of Neptune. But certainly if you're being confused about things with regards to partnerships, ask questions, seek professional advice. That would be the best thing I could advise you. Take care, Virgo. Well, that wraps up my April 2023 video. I'm sending everybody, especially at this April time period, lots of love because, of course, with Libra, the Libra full moon ruled by Venus, it's love. And of course, with Aries, it's about taking initiative. So I'm sending lots of great new love to all my viewers and my clients. And I'm wishing you the very best with all your relationships in the month of April. Keep me posted on what happens to you. You know, I love to hear from you. And you will hear from me next, probably in my May video. Take care of yourself, everybody, and bye for now.